This was never meant to reach the public eye, nor was it expected to unravel so quickly. But now the facts have surfaced, and what they reveal is uncompromising. Keir Starmer has been exposed, implicated in a covert attempt to steer Britain back into Brussels' sphere of influence. Just as a confidential deal between the United Kingdom and the European Union was beginning to take shape, Nigel Farage intervened abruptly, completely reshaping the political landscape. The Prime Minister, visibly enraged, reacted furiously behind closed doors. His inner circle is in disarray, and the monarchy has been drawn into what is already being called the most explosive political scandal since the Brexit referendum. This goes far beyond a mere clash of ideologies. It's an institutional alarm bell. Starmer had attempted to quietly bring the UK back under European control, assuming no one would notice. But Farage did, and now everything is out in the open. For weeks, warning signs were mounting. Leaks began to drip, rumors intensified, and then the scandal broke. Starmer had been negotiating a treaty with the EU that, in essence, dismantled core promises made during Brexit. This deal was not about trade or strategic cooperation, it was a total capitulation. The agreement would have allowed European judges to override British court rulings. It also proposed reopening UK borders under a youth mobility scheme and diverting UK taxpayer money into EU-led military operations, all concealed behind vague wording and private meetings. Throughout the process, Starmer maintained a diplomatic smile, labeling these concessions as pragmatic choices, when in reality he was surrendering national sovereignty piece by piece, disguised as sensible governance. Indeed, this treaty would have quietly reinstated free movement, handed legal power to foreign courts, and tied Britain's public finances to military structures outside its control. The plan was to formally unveil it at an upcoming UK-EU summit, while British families continue to struggle with soaring living costs, crumbling public services, and inflated energy bills. Starmer bet on secrecy. Farage, in contrast, placed his trust in the people. And now, the truth has detonated. In an unexpected move, Farage secured a private audience with the king. While Starmer was quietly negotiating with EU officials, Farage presented the full scope of the agreement directly at the palace. According to insiders, the meeting was far from ceremonial, it was urgent. The contents of the deal caused deep concern among senior royal advisers, particularly the clauses strengthening the powers of the European Court of Justice and granting Brussels influence over UK defence and immigration policy. From within royal circles, the question has now been raised: has the Prime Minister gone too far? Within hours, Number 10, Downing Street was thrown into crisis. Reform UK published leaked drafts of the EU deal, filled with ambiguous clauses and dense legal jargon designed to obscure the treaty's real implications. At Westminster, phones rang off the hook. Conservative MPs demanded immediate answers. Inside Labour, the shock was palpable. The media responded with explosive headlines: Starmer's secret EU pact exposed. Meanwhile, Brussels fell silent. EU officials knew they had pushed too far, banking on quiet compliance. Instead, they triggered a national political storm. Public anger is mounting. Voters vividly recall the 2016 referendum. They remember being told their voice mattered. And now they see the very system that promised to uphold that decision working to quietly erase it. Starmer assumed no one would notice the shift. He miscalculated badly. This is not merely a government scandal, this is a turning point. Even within the Labour Party, there is growing unease. Some claim they were never fully briefed. Others admit openly that the objective was not to fix Brexit, but to reverse it. Meanwhile, Reform UK is rising in the polls, as Farage articulates what many across Britain are feeling: this is not compromise, it's a national surrender dressed up as diplomacy. Farage is now calling for full investigation. Every clause, every conversation, every concession must be made public. The European Commission, once confident, is now growing uneasy. If they begin to see Starmer as a weakened leader, unable to hold the line, they may walk away, leaving him with the shattered remains of a deal that has already cost him dearly. Within Labour ranks, a directive has gone out to maintain a unified message. But that message keeps changing. One day it's described as preliminary talks, the next it's strategic cooperation. No one seems to know what the official version is anymore. The upcoming summit hangs by a thread. Starmer's credibility is collapsing rapidly, and reports are now circulating of further meetings being scheduled at the royal palace. Senior members of the monarchy are said to be directly involved. This concern has now become institutional, because if the Prime Minister is willing to bypass Parliament, mislead the public, and hand over critical powers in exchange for political capital, the obvious question is, what else is he hiding? Starmer believed he could govern from the shadows, shielded by discretion. But true leadership means answering to the people, not avoiding them. He has now lost control of the narrative. He is chasing a story that has already outrun him. The image he tried to project as a stable alternative to chaos is crumbling before the public eye. And most importantly, the people are no longer asleep. The mask has slipped. This wasn't just a political misstep, it was a betrayal of historic proportions. The kind of betrayal that the public doesn't forget. That concludes today's special report. If you found this video informative, give it a like, make sure to subscribe to our channel, and most importantly, leave us a comment. What do you think about this situation? We'll see you in the next video.